peeps, Kelly here. I'm in a really hard morning. I'm going to just start being flat out honest with all of my struggles here, hoping that as I'm working through this, we can help each other. Okay, so this morning, I have a real problem with the Bible that I'm trying to get the Lord help me work through, which is why I've always studied other things, because I don't get it. The Course in Miracles has always been a source of comfort for me to help me understand. And so every time I keep getting triggered, it's a real problem. So this morning, basically the idea of eternal damnation flipped me out so bad and made me so sad. And I may cry in this video, okay? I was so like, what? Eternal damnation, really? Like, there's just a cutoff time. And I think about, I've always loved Jesus and followed God and all of this kind of stuff. And then it makes me think of like people that I know and love who aren't there. For me, it's the eternal damnation stuff. It's not that it scares me for myself even. It's that, I know how long it's taken me to come to a spiritual place. And it, like, when I think about my kids or people that I love, and that's the scariest part. It's like they haven't gotten to the maturity level yet to turn to God or had that experience yet. And so that idea that time's up, okay, now you're toast without another chance, even though I know God gives us many chances and all that, but it's these ideas that are just, it's what makes me sad. It's like people that come at you with threats. How do I trust a person that threatens me? And in the Bible, it's all about threats. And to me, a person that makes threats means you harm. And so how do I trust a person that means me harm? It's kind of like a mafia move. Like, unless you do what I tell you to do, then you're toast. And what? This is why I don't understand. And this issue has got to get resolved for me. And so people that threaten me, I go the opposite direction. If you're going to threaten me, that means you're dangerous and you're not trustworthy. And so I got to go. I'm not going to hang around people like that. And so how am I supposed to come closer to God? That's why this Bible stuff is really pushing my buttons. So I don't know if anybody else has these same issues, but I hope we can work through them together. It's kind of like this idea that, that you're really just going to eternally damn us, like throw us in a pit of fire and let us burn forever. Like, where's the love in that? I don't get it, man. I can't get it. So I prayed. I was like, all right, Lord, you need to help me with this. It's because everything I see, I'm just starting to recognize. The more I study the Bible and I let these ideas in, these harsh ideas, they disturb me so bad. It's like I've spent my entire life, so I thought, cleansing my mind of these ideas, and then they're right here trying to understand the Bible. So basically what happened was I prayed, and I don't have full understanding now, but this was kind of the answer I got. So I had this thought, and I thought back. So quick story about this, and I'll elaborate on another time. I did make another video about it, I think, about prayer, miracles, and belief. You can check out about when my daughter drowned. So when my daughter was 1, she drowned. She was dead. She was brought back to life and had no rehab. It was a total miracle, Bible kind of miracle, using the Course in Miracles principles, yada yada. And during that time, it was the same kind of thing. It's like this idea of eternal damnation. I was looking at my daughter, on life support, stuff drilled into her head, just toast, and looking down on her little body. And what Jesus told me to do, he said, just look at her, and know that she's okay. In other words, know that she's just fine. She's in my arms. She can't be hurt. That she's my daughter. She's not your daughter. And understand what that means. Like, she's an eternal being. And so that produced a real miracle. I'm not going to go into all those details. But the point was, at one point, I was looking at all the other kids in intensive care, that weren't being healed, because my daughter was healed, and just having such a heart for them and the parents, and I was like, I don't understand what I'm seeing, Lord. Like, how do all these children, there's this child and it's just sitting there fighting for its life, can't even breathe with some crazy asthma, and another one with no half a heart, and just suffering, just these horrible conditions, and people have to go through this stuff. And I said, I don't understand. And basically, the understanding that I got at that time was, your eyes lie to you. Your eyes lie about everything. You cannot trust your eyes. You know, maybe that's why the Bible talks about eyes to see and ears to hear, because the things that we look on and the things that we experience are so dark and devastating. And so basically it was like, your eyes are lying to you. They always lie, which is why you have to listen to my voice. Don't pay attention to all that stuff, right? And so this was the similar thing about this eternal damnation. So the feeling I got was, he basically said, do you trust me? And that's the question. That's the only question we're ever answering in our struggles. Do you trust me? Do you trust him? Got cut off, so I'm going to try to finish. So yes, that's the question. Do you trust me? So then I started thinking about all of the people doing us dirty right now, and they've stolen our house and doing all these crazy things, and the people involved, and you know, the Course also talks about, I trust my brothers who are one with me, but I don't trust these people. I don't trust certain people that are doing bad things, and you know, I'm a person who got me fired from my job, and all these other things have been going on. It's like, but ultimately God is allowing that, because it's like with Job. It's like he let Satan come in there and do that. And so, you know, then that makes me mad at God. And so ultimately, the things that I'm upset about, I have to take it back to God. I have to blame him, so to speak, but not blame him, but be like, what's going on? And then it's the same question. Do you trust me? Meaning, I have to learn to trust him through the bad people, through the things that are happening, through the trials, meaning that nothing happens without him. Nothing. And this is just what feels right. Nothing, absolutely nothing happens without him. And so I have to not only trust God and listen to his voice and not trust my eyes and all the things I see. So it's literally about abandoning the world entirely so that I can get to peace. I can't trust what I see. I can't trust the people, but I can trust the people because God's in them. They're my brothers and sisters. And so want to just tie this up. I don't want this to be long. So the last idea here was, and this may help. So a couple days ago, I was walking down the street and there was a bird that was on, a cute little bird. It was just up on this telephone wire and it fell to the ground, just plopped to the ground in front of me. All these birds were attacking it. And I was like, oh my gosh, this poor little bird, I got to save this bird. So I reached down to pick it up and I picked it up. And it looked sort of okay. Maybe it was injured. I couldn't tell. I put it back down and it looked like it sort of flew a little bit away from me, and it was kind of trying to fly, and I couldn't tell, was its wing injured or was it foot, but it wasn't quite flying, but it looked like it kind of got dazed or knocked out, but it would be able to fly in a second. Well, it jumped into the street and a car hit it right in front of me, just killed the bird. And immediately I'm like, what the heck, man? And I sat there and I cried by the side of the street because I could have saved it, but I didn't because I couldn't really get in the middle of the street. And then I immediately started thinking, you know, what does this mean? Am I sinning? And what's the purpose? You know, it's this same thing we all do. Things go bad in our life. What did I do wrong? And we start blaming ourselves. And it's this consciousness of, and this is where I realize everything in my mind, I can only speak for me, but I think this is the bigger problem we all have. And it is a lot of the problem, or the consciousness, the same consciousness that we're all born into, even people that wrote the Bible, where we are so mentally ill as far as our understanding that everything we look on, we see as some form of attack and punishment. It's like all we see everywhere is attack and punishment and attack and punishment. And that's why we're so afraid, because we are sacrifice. We just believe in all these things so heavily. And so if I can leave you with one thing, it's this thought. which is this little prayer from the Course in Miracles, and it helped set my head right. It helped get me in a better space, and it was this. So my phone kept cutting off. My storage is full. I've been having trouble with my phone since I started this journey where I need my phone to do videos. Anyway, it kept cutting off after I would read the first line of this prayer over and over, which to me is just emphasis when the first line is, take this from me and look upon it, judging it for me. So because it kept just saying that over and over and over, that's the guidance I'm getting now, that when I'm reading the things in the Bible that scare me and freak me out, I need to keep passing them over to the Holy Spirit and saying, Lord, please take this from me and judge it for me. Because maybe you are good with this, and just blindly following something that scares the fruit out of you. But I can't do that. I cannot trust a God that I think is going to burn me in hell. I cannot come closer to him with that kind of fear. For other people, that's what gets them to come to God, their fear of him like that. But for me, my heart doesn't work that way. And so I need to know that he's a good God, in the sense that I just need to have that understanding, or it's going to prevent my walk. And so here's the prayer, okay? The full prayer, which is so good. We can use for anything that flips us out. Take this from me and look upon it, judging it for me. Let me not see it as a sign of sin and death, nor use it for destruction. Teach me how not to make of it an obstacle to peace, but let you use it for me to facilitate its coming. So I'm going to read it one more time because it's really powerful and awesome. And I had to use my husband's phone to finish this video, so I'm grateful for that. I'll just have to piece it all together. Take this from me, Holy Spirit, the ideas of eternal damnation and death, and destruction, fear. Take these thoughts from me, Lord, and look upon them, judging them for me. Let me not see in them a sign of sin and death, nor use them for destruction. Teach me how not to make of them an obstacle to peace, but let you use it for me to facilitate its coming. So God bless you. I hope you guys are having a good day. Peace to you. And hopefully this little prayer can help, and I'll put it in the description box as well. God bless you. Peace. Bye.